fascination for a particular kind of instrument in financial markets. So this chart actually gives a very good perspective about that phase, where initially you want to focus more on cyclical and then industrial, then energy stocks, because energy at its peak market activity, energy consumption is extremely high. So those stocks will give you maximum return. That's why BPCL, HPCL and ONGC are one of the top buys today, because we are at a peak of the of the market activities. Then you move to service and eventually you move to finance, because interest rate starts to get reduced. Again, these are, now let's talk about after cycle, and let me just throw some light before we conclude today's discussion, or I will be open to discussion. I will be open to queries for you. Ultimately, we have to understand there's too much money in the system, because the printing of money is happening on a regular basis. Now, what will happen with that money? Eventually, we can't have money digged under the soil, or we can't have that money just deposited in the bank account. That money is part of the monetary system. So this money is eventually given to people who will generate return out of that money. You will not like your money to be sleeping, right? You always want your money to generate more money for you, because that's a typical classic characteristic of money. And if you're not generating more money out of your money, you know that the value of money is going down, because there is more money getting printed. If there are more money getting printed, your 10 rupee will not have the same value after 5 years than what it is today. So to beat that reduction in value of money, you got to generate more money for that 10 rupees. So basically the whole monetary system, whatever money supply we have globally, that money supply has to be increased by generating return out of money. So this money is given to fund managers. This money is being used by us to generate more return. So even if you give that money to a bank, the bank eventually as a business model will give this money to either an industrialist or ask their fund manager to invest this money in a businesses which will generate more return for them. Now what will happen if that kind of a money is in the market to invest in some asset class? Suppose there is only one asset where most of the people want to invest, and that is gold. And there are $1 trillion money available to invest in gold. Obviously there will be limited supply of gold. Gold to dharti se bahut limited aayega, right? There cannot be unlimited supply of gold. So what will happen to the price of gold? It will go up, it will go up, it will keep on going up, keep on going up, keep on going up till it becomes an absolutely bubble. So a gold, which the cost of producing of gold is say only $200 per ounce, and if it is trading at $2,000 per ounce, that can be typically classified as bubble. It is important for us to understand when that bubble is hitting us, what asset is getting inside that bubble zone, and we need to be extremely careful in trading / investing in those assets. Sure, a bubble will always give a very strong momentum of buying, but when it falls, everyone wants to just get out of that instrument. And there have been multiple cases of bubbles in the last 100 years history of financial market, be it tulip bubble. This was a classic case where a tulip flower, it developed some kind of a bacteria, because of which the color of the tulip flower suddenly changed. And this is talk about Holland. That color change was suddenly realized to be auspicious, and it was given an obnoxious price because of that color change. It was regarded as a unique product. The price of tulip flower went up like crazy, and it was called tulip mania. You get all these discussions in Wikipedia, in Investopedia, so you can follow that later. But the point I'm trying to make is that each asset class, in some form or other, because of too much of money chasing those asset class, reach at a particular point where it becomes a bubble. And when the bubble bursts, there is a bloodbath in the market. You don't want to be the last one to get out of the market during that time. So it's important for us to keep track of situation when the bubble is getting created. Do you think Indian market is a bubble right now? Anyone? Do you think Indian market is a bubble right now? Jimit, would you like to answer? Do you think Indian market is a bubble right now? Okay. Rekumar says not yet. So can I define bubble for you? Anything which you find not logical, not commensurating with your true sense is a bubble. Okay. So do you believe 8,100 is reasonable in India? I say yes, because if you see the GDP components, all components are growing, and if you check the mathematics of finance, market right now is trading at a trailing P of 22 and forward P of 16-17, which is a fair estimation of the market. If you see the historically where the market has been traded, so with 17-18 trailing P, market is still not at a bubble phase. Our market is not in bubble, please now, as EPS and earning of companies rising. Absolutely, absolutely, Jimmy. So we will need to be very careful and keep track of market closely, where we realize that it doesn't make sense. Why? The theoretical, the fundamental of the market is not commensurating with the existing price of the market. So common sense, if you apply your common sense, you start feeling that there is something wrong, and that's where the bubble will start getting further. You getting my point? And you know, technically it's relatively easier to track the bubble. If you see always the last leg of the bubble, the way price moves, the angle of the price movement is very, very close to 90 degrees. And it goes to almost 80 degrees, 75 degrees, which is an obnoxious, it's like craziness for people to buy that instrument. So that is a bubble. And one needs to be careful in getting in that time. You know, the best way to make money during that time is to be ready to short the market. And that's what traders do. And all the smart traders have made money by shorting the market when they knew that the bubble is already there. You know, this topic needs a lot of this topics needs a lot of further discussion. But overall, as far as understanding of economics is concerned, if you follow the fundamental economic parameters of any country closely, with proper pen downing and making a graph of the growth of those economic parameters, and if you follow your common sense of understanding the fair pricing of an asset class, identifying whether I should be part of this or we should exit part of this, it at times becomes quite easy. And that's where your knowledge of practical economics and market will gel. You don't have to be an economist per se, because an economist will make estimation of market through a lot of judgmental assumptions. So you don't want to be part of that group, because that predicts the market at a very long-term level with a lot of factors considered to be constant. You want to be at a stage where you can really see in a real life whether that pure economics is working fine for you in the market or not. So the idea of this presentation today was to sensitize you towards economics and the applied economics for markets. And obviously you have to build on this knowledge which we have shared today by reading more, watching more YouTube videos, and understanding more of how other experts in the market are considering applied economics to take their decision in financial markets. Okay, so I think today we are finishing the right time. We're just 1 hour lecture today. If you have any question, I'm here for the 5 minutes to discuss, or if you want to discuss any specific point, I'll be more than willing to do that. Or we close today's discussion, and you'll get an email from us, a PDF, a Word document, which will have a PDF document rather in the Word format, which will have all the discussions made today in a very, very crisp way. And obviously for further for people who have taken admission in our e-learning courses, they will get the announcements about the next thing which is coming up for them. And for free webinars, obviously stay tuned to our website elearnmarkets.com. So any question you have, I'm here for the 5 minutes, and then we will close the discussion at 12:15 sharp. Economics, at times it becomes an extremely boring subject, I understand, not just for the listener but also for the guy who is talking or sharing his experience. Okay, Jimmy. I'm believing the current market is behaving much on investor/traders greed and fears because of new high of market. Greed and fear is part of the mankind, and if we don't have greed and fear, then obviously today mankind would not have been a different animal than other animals of the street. And obviously there is a very important part of market or part of human behavior, which is the herd mentality, where very few people want to be contrarian. Everyone wants to follow the leader, and that's what makes the difference between the wheat and the cough. So obviously current market is classic case where there is huge euphoria in the market. All the stakeholders of the market, be intermediaries, be investors, traders, everyone is anchors, media, everyone is too excited about the way market is behaving. And obviously there will be a lot of interested parties who would like market to behave this way. So I totally agree your point, Jimmy, that today market is definitely behaving because of huge greed and fear activity in the market. But today is not the market where you make wealth for yourself. And if you get inside an idea which has wealth making capability, you can't make it in a short term. A wealth making activity can only happen in long period of time. As they say in a lot of mutual fund advertisements these days, that when you are teaching your child, you don't want the child to be smart today. You are teaching because you want your child to be very smart in long term, very effective in long term. So equity investments or fundamental investments is that only. Okay, Daljit, thank you very much. I will review the period when ready for technical analysis classes. We'll be in touch next week to start this. Great. Daljit, it was a pleasure, and I'm very glad that you are part of us. Let us highlight this, that once you are part of us, you are part of us for a lifetime. You can connect to us anytime with any doubts. We are in constant endeavor to improve our training modules and to increase more subject matter discussion. So it will be a pleasure to get feedback from you, and in case you have any trouble in any place, I'm definitely there to help you. My whole team is committed to help you guys learning the nuances of financial market. Thanks for the Daljit. Any other question? If not, then we'll close the discussion today. Yes, we will be sending you the notes, Jimit. We will be sending you. By next week, you'll be getting it. In fact, what we have done, we have started recording these webinars as well. And I've asked my team to put these recording webinars on YouTube as a private sharing to only people who have attended this webinar till the end. We don't want to give it to people who have just come here as an spectators by not adding much value to the discussion. So we will definitely try to work that technology thing done and share those links with you, Jimmy. Okay, so it was nice spending these important hours on Saturday, and obviously Daljit with you on, I think it's Friday night or Saturday morning now. It was nice spending time with you guys. Thanks a lot for becoming part of our discussion. Bye.